Hello and welcome back. This week is going to be more of like a cozy, like just crochet vlog. I am working on some plushies for my Valloween drop, which I think I mentioned last week. What I am doing is I had other ideas, but we are narrowing it down. I'm just doing two different plushies. I'm going to do the regular Voodoo doll, and I'm going to do the Voodoo doll snuggler. I've already, the other day I made the lavender snuggler. I still have to do all of the details and everything. And then this morning I started working on the regular size, which is actually, this one might be a little bit bigger. So I'm thinking I may up the price just a little bit on it because it is taking a little bit longer and it's going to use more yarn. So we need to account for that. Plus I'm thinking it's going to be like a limited edition type thing. So anyway, let's get started on that. Okay, so while we're trying to undo this knot from the yarn vomit center pull, I thought we would chat for a little bit. So I had never heard of the term Valloween until I think last year. I think it was last year. I saw it on Instagram when I started following all of the other crochet artists that I follow now, because a lot of them are like the spooky, creepy, like horror related type of creators, and that's, you know, what the group that I need to be in. And you know, I've never really been into Valentine's Day. I've always thought it was kind of lame. But last year when I was, you know, seeing the different like Valloween, like creepy creatures, but like in Valentine colors, I was like, I can get into that. So this year I thought I would try my hand at that, but I'm only gonna do the Voodoo dolls. And instead of doing like the normal, like the beige colors that I normally do them in, I'm gonna do pink, which is a great Valentine color, and lavender, which at any of my markets that I go to, people always ask, like, what do you have in purple? Purple always sells out first. Plus, it's my favorite color, so I'm a little biased there. I mean, it's my logo color. So I thought doing those two things, since everybody loves snugglers and everybody loves Voodoo dolls for some reason, which I'm totally okay with. High school me, who was obsessed with Voodoo. Hang on, look what I found in the garage the other day. I bought this book when I was in high school in the late 90s, well, mid 90s. I graduated in 97, but this was like, I bought this in high school and I found it in the garage. And I was very excited to find this, so I had to put it on my desk. Anyway, and I went to New Orleans when I was right after I graduated, and I have a picture of me putting the X's on Marie Laveau's tomb. Yeah, so anyway, so, you know, the Voodoo dolls were my bestseller, which I love. So I thought purple one, that should, you know, be a good seller. And then the pink, you don't normally see pink ones, so I thought that would be kind of cool. So we're working on the purple one now. And when he's finished, I'm gonna do a pink snuggler and a pink regular Voodoo doll. And then as of today, I'm thinking of retiring this pattern. I'm not sure. I might just try to freehand something. We'll see, because I'm still determined to have my own. Again, we will see. So anyway, let's get back to work. This thing's gonna take a while. All right, I'm back. And I just finished one of his legs. As you saw, I've got his body ready. His body, crocheted his arms in. And I have the one leg done, and for some reason I forgot, even though I've made 1,000 of these, that I sew the legs on. And this tail's not long enough. So that'll be fun. It's fine. It's totally fine. So I have one leg left, and I thought it might be fun to do a magic ring with Sweet Snuggles live on camera. So let's see if this actually works. If you know, you know. I mean, like, this isn't a terrible skein. I mean, it's flaking or fluffing a little bit, but it's not as bad as some of them. I have others that maybe I'll show later on in this video that are gonna be interesting to work with, but let's just try this. When I do magic rings with really fluffy chenille yarn, and this is hard for me, I've just actually started doing this, I try to use the lightest tension that I can, which is not easy for me because I do this for stress relief. So I saw somebody post that when they make their plushies, it's a love in every stitch. Mine is stress in every stitch. But anyway, so I've got my ring, and the foot starts with 6. So let's see if we can do this. 1, 2, 3. 4, 5, 6. This is what I've started doing. I'll just make a little hoop, and I'll put my finger in there, and I just try to scoot these stitches down. I don't know if you can see that or not. And it looks like a little mosquito. Just keep going. It's really fun using this yarn when you have to start with 8 single crochet in the magic ring. And by a lot of fun, I mean it's not fun at all. I can't do that with my left hand at all. I don't know what I'm thinking. Okay, see, it's... Okay. I just pulled off. Ah, oh my gosh, look at that. Did you see that? Oh, crap. Okay, that's the last stitch. I need to redo that 6th one. I think. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I did not need to do that one. Did I? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, I did. Good grief. Okay. Okay. Wow. All right. We have started a magic ring with Sweet Snuggles Light. I should probably like go buy a lottery ticket or something on the first try. So, okay. Let's finish this foot. So I'm finished, and now this is all I have left of the lavender. Let's see if we will have enough for another snuggler. I need 65 grams of this. I don't think I'm gonna have 65 grams. Let's swing around. $44. That's okay. All right, well, that's probably going to be it for me today. And tomorrow we will work on the pink ones and possibly the details. I'd like to get these listed like Friday or Monday, so we'll just see. So I'll check back in tomorrow. Evening, friends. Oh man, okay. It's Wednesday. I'm planning on posting this on Saturday morning. It is Wednesday evening. It's almost 5. I am exhausted. Today has been one of those like never-ending errand kind of days. We are prepping for like a huge snowstorm. So today I got up, I had my breakfast, did all my morning things, and went to get groceries. The store was out of one of my son's safe foods, so if you know, you know. Had to make sure that I made a trip to somewhere to find that, which I did, and we stocked up, so we're good there. But it was like the longest day. I was at Walmart for an hour and a half, and then I came home, had lunch. Then we left for our history lecture that we take on that we do on Wednesdays. And then after that, we had to go to Target for a return. And then we had to go to Staples for some more returns. And then we had to go to a different grocery store to get the food that I couldn't get at Walmart this morning. It's raining and it's kind of like, it's not cold, but it's not like comfortable outside. It's in the 40s, I think. So I'm so tired. But anyway, and I bought this pillow at Walmart today. It's my color. It's like, I walked in, this is totally random, but I walked in to get groceries this morning and noticed that there were like several areas in the store that have like the hazy lavender color, which is, you know, my company color. Apparently it's trending right now, which I don't know how to feel about that, because this is mine. This is my color. But anyway, I grabbed this. It was like $6 and it's very soft and comfy. So maybe I'll use it when I'm crocheting if I ever get to crochet ever again. But anyway, speaking of, that is why I'm in my room right now. My husband has something to do after work today, so he is already gone. So it's just me and the kiddo. So we can have like a leisurely dinner. I can do girl dinner tonight if I wanted to. Girl dinner for me tonight is going to be my absolute favorite fettuccine alfredo. But anyway, this morning I worked on a Voodoo doll snuggler in the pink, and real talk right now, this is a pretty decent skein of Sweet Snuggles Light, and it is killing my hands. Like, my hands are so sore this morning when I woke up, because also, just FYI, the lavender one, this is also the Sweet Snuggles Light, and it has like that starchy kind of feel that some of the Parfait Chunky skeins have. I know a lot of people say that they don't like to use Bernat blanket yarn because of how it makes their hands feel. I don't know that I like Sweet Snuggles Light for that reason. I've not, with most skeins of Bernat, I'm okay with it, you know, hand-wise, but man, the Sweet Snuggle stuff is not, whew, it's killing my hands. This morning I woke up and they were so sore. I've been wearing my compression gloves, but I've got to use it. This is what I'm using. You know, when I went to get my Valloween colors, they didn't have Bernat in pink or lavender. Like, the only thing I could get was Sweet Snuggles Light. So, and those were the colors that I really wanted to use. I didn't want to use like traditional Halloween spooky colors. I didn't want to use like bright green or even black, or gray. Well, I am gonna have one gray snuggler, but that was just like a practice one. And that was a good skein of Sweet Snuggles Light. It's very soft and, you know, I like using it. These other two are kind of killing me. They hurt. Like I said, it's almost 5. I thought I would come up here and at least try to get the arms made for him. I don't know that I'm going to be able to sew them on. So we will just see. I'm going to pull up the pattern real quick. Oh gosh. So yeah, we're expecting like a huge snowstorm. Which, oh no, this one starts with an 8. All right, let's see if we can do this. Anyway, like I was saying, we're expecting like this big, huge snowstorm. I don't know. Because where I live, it is usually hit or miss as far as if it's actually going to happen or not. I don't know. So, all right, let's try this magic ring with 8 single crochet in it. Something else that I like to do after I make my hoop, after I make the little loop, the one that you pull, I always try my best to make sure that it's straight and it doesn't get like all wound around. And even when I'm doing, like when I'm putting my single crochets in here, I try to make sure that it stays straight. I don't know if that makes sense or not, but I've noticed on some of the thinner, or not thinner, but it helps on occasion. 1, 2, 3. Okay, I'm just going to put some in here and then go back and count because I'm still not to the point where I can crochet and talk at the same time. I'm like so like not even functioning at capacity right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6. All right, let's see if we can do this. Like I've had this pink before and it was super soft. This is not. The very first time I used this skein or this type, before I really knew the differences, like when I was first starting to crochet, I got it and I was like, what is this? But now I know. But yeah, snowstorm, so Walmart was almost completely out of bread. They were out of the milk that my husband gets. Out of bread, like wow. They were almost out of eggs. I was actually shocked that they had eggs, especially since around here Walmart's eggs are way cheaper than everywhere else. We have Publix where I am and it is so expensive. Okay, we got our 8. I think what I'm gonna do right now is I'm gonna try to get these 2 arms made before I have to go make dinner and then just try to decompress from my day. We've got like the after hours vibes going on, which I'm really liking this angle. I don't know if anybody else does, but I'm digging this angle. Anyway, so I'm gonna try to do these arms and I don't know if I will be able to do any more tonight after this. Vlogging wise, I know after I get these arms finished, that's probably gonna be it for me. So we also have a field trip scheduled tomorrow, but I'm kind of like secretly hoping that it gets rescheduled because of the weather. Like there are things that are going to happen this weekend that were supposed to happen this weekend that started canceling yesterday. So, I mean, this is the South. We take our snowstorms very seriously, even if it's, you know, just a hint of a snowstorm. Somebody says snow around here and everybody shuts down and runs out and buys milk and eggs. So, I didn't. We already had those things. But anyway, I'll check back in. I have to sneeze. I'll check back in maybe tomorrow. Hopefully we don't go to that field trip because it's like downtown and I really don't want to drive downtown. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. So we'll see. I'm back and we went on the field trip, but it was fine. I found a back way into where we were going, I did have to pay for parking. So not this morning, like right now, it's 2 o'clock and I'm getting started. I just edited the footage that I have so far, so I'm feeling pretty good about that. And I sewed the arms on to the little pink snuggler that I was working on in the other video. So yesterday was Thursday, today's Friday. Tonight is the night of the big snowstorm. We'll see how that goes. Let's see. I lost my train of thought. Yesterday I took the day off. I let my hands rest the entire day because I was saying in my other clip that they were hurting, and they have been hurting pretty bad. So yesterday was the field trip. Like I said, it was totally fine. Gave my hands the day off, and I think they appreciated it. But today I just sewed the arms on, and look, check this out. Look at that. So these are the snugglers that I have right now. So I'm gonna do the stitching and the heart and the button eye on these, and then the big one, and I might have to call it a day, like, meaning I don't know if I'm going to be able to make any more. I don't know if I should make any more just because of the snow, impending possible snowstorm. Because if I launch these and they sell, which is what I want them to do, I'm not going to be able to drive for the next week probably, which means I will not be able to ship them out. So I'm going to have to update. I put like something on my Etsy saying, you know, because of the weather, shipping might be delayed some. So, which I don't want to do that, but that is part of owning a small business. And I'm going to talk about quite a bit more about that coming up, so just stick around for that. But right now I'm going to get started on these eyes and everything because I want them done. I need these for the thumbnail, and I'm ready to be finished with them. So let's go do that. Happy Saturday. I am back. I woke up I slept in today. I didn't get up until 7:30, and it did not snow. They were calling for lots and lots of snow like overnight, and that did not happen. It started snowing at about 9:30 or so, and I don't know if you can tell, but we now have snow. Not much. There already been like a bunch of wrecks, and I can hear it now, like the ice is hitting the window, and it's been doing that now for probably 20 minutes. So it went from us having a lot of snow and a little bit of ice to some snow and a whole lot of ice. So I'm actually terrified that we're going to lose power. Yesterday I went out again and got a bunch of like shelf stable foods just in case. Did a huge load of laundry, making sure all of our sweatshirts and sweaters and blankets were clean and all that good stuff. So we are hunkering down for the weekend and probably longer. So yeah, that's where we are right now with the whole snow thing. So in saying that, my lunch might have to be a little bit changed a little bit. I'm not going to make anything else. I had considered making a pink voodoo doll. I don't know that I'm going to. That might wait. I'm not sure. But as of right now, I'm not making one. So we're just going to go with what we have. And I'm not going to list them today. I'm shooting for Wednesday, so there might be another pink voodoo doll. I'm not sure. I'm shooting for possibly Wednesday. And then we'll just have to see about how the weather holds up. I don't have a good feeling about this. It might not happen for Valloween, but you never know. So anyway, that's just part of being a small business owner. You never know. You can't control the weather, and that's something that we've been trying to teach our son, because he's very upset that we're not able to go anywhere or do anything today. You can't control the weather and you can't get mad at it. So, you know, I put a lot of work into what I have already made, and I'll show it here in a minute. And you know, it might not work for what I had intended it to be for, but you know, I picked the Voodoo doll because that's my best seller in my shop. So we'll see. But anyway, with all that said, let's get into what I actually completed and what I've been working on this week. Okay, so we started off the week, as we know, and we have the one purple Voodoo doll. This is basically the exact same as my beige ones that I have in my shop. So hopefully he is a good seller. The only thing that's different is the heart is a different yarn, and I don't like this yarn, so this will be the last time that I do that. Before I make any more, I am going to have to go out and get more red. So I've got the purple Voodoo doll, and then I've made a lavender snuggler, and then the almond snuggler pink one, and the gray one. So this is what I did this week, and I really like holding them all up like this. Might have our thumbnail picture there. But anyway, these are going to be in my Etsy shop at some point. We just don't know when. So, all right. Anyway, so I guess that's it for this week. Next week, I am hoping, if everything is okay, I'm gonna go and do, next week we are gonna do part 2 of the behind the scenes getting ready for Etsy series. We are going to create the listings, we're gonna do the photo shoots, figure out a background since it's probably gonna be super cold outside, and get them listed and just go through that process. I relied heavily on YouTube videos of Etsy listings when I first started out, so this is me trying to, you know, share my own. But anyway, thank you for hanging out this week and working with me through what started off as a super exciting week and then ended in a major bummer with the weather and having to possibly cancel my drop. Not cancel, move. We're not going to say cancel, we're going to just say reschedule. Rescheduling my drop. We've had to deal with juggling small business tasks with homeschool and hand pain, and when you are a crocheter, that is not something that you ever want to deal with, but right smack in the middle of the week my hands started hurting. So I'm probably at this point, since like I said, today's Saturday, I'm gonna try to take a couple of days off and not crochet or sew or embroider anything. We'll see how that happens. If that actually happens, I don't know. So again, just thanks for hanging out with me, and you know, come back next week for part 2 where we get these babies listed, hopefully. Thank you for hanging out with me, and I hope to see you back next week. Stay warm and stay safe.